Oh yeah! Here we go again, Raider Nation. What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish, coming to you live from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios, deep behind the enemy lines. This is Raider Reaction. Every weeknight, Oakland Raider football goes coast to coast. We start out with an hour on the East Coast with Raider Reaction and the Commish. Then I drop back and throw it deep to the West Coast for the final hour with the infamous Raider Bear. 2 solid hours of Raider flavor and insight, starting right now. What's up, Raider Nation? Thank you for joining me again tonight. Joining me tonight, as he does every Monday and Wednesday night, is the Raider Reaction resident sports guru, Prime. Prime has been a ring announcer for professional MMA and boxing, PA announcer for professional soccer, play-by-play and color commentary for college basketball, play-by-play for college football, and he is our resident sports guru. And again, we'll be dropping back deep, letting it fly league-wide, as it is time for another edition of Ghost to the Post with Prime and the Commish. It's time to break it down, all the league action, as only we can. What's up, Ryan, Raider Nation in Illinois? What's up, man? Prime, welcome back to Raider Reaction.
Thank you for having me. I'm always happy to be here in Raider Nation, doing it with the Commish. Yeah, we just had a draft. Everything was beautiful. Philadelphia did a great job hosting the draft.
Yes.
They booed Roger Goodell like every single time he walked up, which I thoroughly appreciated.
It was beautiful, man. Every time Goodell came to the stage, he booed. Did you? I don't know if you caught this, but I caught this and I thought it was hilarious. When Kansas City, in one of the later rounds, took the running back, the old Kansas City player came up there and announced him, and it was crickets. Nobody said nothing. It was like, you did what? You drafted who? The Chiefs were like, yeah, it was just crickets. And he kind of looked out there, like, tapped the mic, like, is this thing on? Like, did anybody hear me? It was hilarious. So, we broke it down pre-draft. Prime and the Commish on Ghost to the Post, our pre-draft breakdown show. And we hit the number 1 pick, both of us, which, you know, so did everybody friggin' else, but...
Yep, everybody in the United States knew the first pick, so...
Yes, they all did, but, you know, hey, we got it right, so we'll take credit where credit is due. Now, I did predict the first quarterback off the board. I was wrong on the team. I thought he was going to go to 6 to the Jets, but he ended up the crazy trade to jump up and take Trubisky when who knows if the Niners were even looking at him to begin with. What do you think about that, Prime? That's craziness.
Well, the Bears sold the farm to move up to number 2, just one spot. And you still have to question whether or not the 49ers were really going to go for a quarterback, even though there is a need.
I mean, everybody thought they were going to go Solomon Thomas, and then they went Solomon Thomas anyway. So, I mean, you know, thank you, Desiree. I don't know. I agree. I think they sold the farm, and they got crazy. I think they just got crazy. They saw somebody they wanted. I mean, unless they thought there was a trade coming up and trying to sneak in and backdoor them, then maybe that was their concern. Maybe they're just mass paranoia in the Bears draft room. I don't know. Something was going on, because that looked like a dumbass move.
You know, some guys need to find Jesus. Those guys need to find Ditka.
Yes, they need Ditka. Ditka could help him out, man. The coach, absolutely. All right, now we were both right on the first running back off the board. What's up, Chris Lentz? Thanks for coming back. We were both right on the first running back off the board, Leonard Fournette. And you nailed the team as well.
Yeah, I didn't see any trades happening. I knew Jacksonville was sitting there at Ford. I knew they were looking for dynamic playmakers, and Leonard Fournette fits the bill for sure.
Yeah. You know, Jacksonville was hyped as going to be one of the hot teams yesterday. What's up, Jay Chuck? It was going to be one of the hot teams last year along with the Raiders. They were the big talk in the preseason, and then they fell flat on their face. The Raiders did what everybody predicted we were going to do, but Jacksonville did not. So maybe this is their season to bounce back. I mean, they did have a fairly decent draft. What do you think about, just to hit on some of the high points of the top 10, what do you think about Christian McCaffrey going to the Panthers, Prime?
I think Christian McCaffrey is going to be a dynamic playmaker for sure. He's going to fill a lot of different roles for Carolina. We're looking at slot receiver. Of course, the return game is going to be huge. There's a punt returner and a kickoff returner.
Yeah, he's going to be big in PPR leagues.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I can see that.
And
he may be on my draft board.
Enough reps coming out of the backfield. So, I mean, we're looking at, I don't know, maybe a Marshall Faulk type runner and receiver, even though he's a Hall of Famer and all.
Yeah. It's a pretty steep comparison there, but maybe someday.
Yeah. Well, maybe Reggie Bush is more of his speed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But he's got wheels. He's going to be a fun player for the Carolina Panthers.
The bounce around, date Kim Kardashian type guy. Are you linking Christian McCaffrey to Kim Kardashian?
No, I wouldn't curse the man that way.
All right, just checking. So what do you think about the number 10 pick, Patrick Mahomes, going to the Chiefs?
Patrick Mahomes?
What's up, Mark Anthony?
I'm not sure what they saw.
I don't know.
Andy Reid is a good quarterback coach, but Patrick Mahomes, he was a reach. I cannot believe he went in front of
I agree. Deshaun Watson. I agree. How do you take the guy who looks like deer on ice with no footwork? What's up, Jordan? No footwork. And Deshaun Watson. Okay, Deshaun Watson goes to back-to-back national championships. Granted, he loses one, but comes back and wins the next one against Alabama, who's basically like a freaking pro factory anyway. So,
yeah, Deshaun Watson is huge. He's a leader in the locker room. He's a leader on the field. He plays best under crunch time. The man's fourth quarter numbers are off the damn charts.
I didn't get that one, man. I think the Texans got a steal getting Deshaun Watson.
And that's what they needed.
That's all they needed. I agree.
The playoffs. They won their division with a terrible quarterback.
I know. We lost to him in the freaking playoffs because we didn't have a quarterback. But that's another story. We don't want to get into. We don't want to We don't want to dig up bones, man. We buried that. That's dead.
Speaking of bones,
Jason thinks he's going to get eaten up. That's what he's saying.
Dogs the Chiefs where he's looking for, man.
So Prime, you had a chance to look over the draft. You got some draft grades you wanted to bring to the Raider Nation. So why don't you give us a little breakdown now that you've had a couple days to let it simmer? Take a look at what everybody's got. What are you thinking?
All right. Well, I'm thinking the winner of the draft this year, straight up number one, that might have to be the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals? Really?
Bengals.
Please
At
explain.
number 9, they got John Ross. He's going to go opposite of A.J. Green, and he's going to have single coverage all day long. Andy Dalton is the quarterback. The Red Rifle is going to be dealing it out over there.
John Ross is a little small, though. He's 5'11", 188.
Yeah, but it'll take the top off the defense.
True. It's true. He's going to be
he's
fast.
Wheels for days.
He does got wheels for days. It's true.
Yeah, it reminds me of Deshaun
Jackson,
there we go.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair comparison. He's little and fast.
Yeah.
It's hard to get a square hit on him because he's so damn fast.
Joe Mixon, the running back out of Oklahoma, there's a lot of people, he flew in the draft because of some off-the-field issues, but then with the third and fourth pick, they actually bolster up their defense with a couple of stud defensive ends, Jordan Lewis and Carl Lawson.
Yeah.
Then, in the late rounds, they still got another wide receiver, Josh Malone out of Tennessee.
So what are you giving them? You giving them an A?
I would give the Cincinnati Bengals, the Bungles,
The Bungles.
an A.
Wow. Damn.
I'm not saying that's going to get them out.
What's up, Assassin Angel Eyes? Dorothy Bell? What's up? So,
now, you know who also did really well in the draft?
who's that?
Cleveland.
The Cleveland did very well in the draft. I'm not going to lie.
Myles Garrett,
They built...
he is a game changer. But then they come back and they pick up Jabril Peppers out of Michigan.
I'm not sure what I think about Jabril Peppers, though. I'm not sold on Jabril Peppers 100%. Well, we'll see how he
does. He can do so many different things. The guy's probably going to play on offense.
We'll see.
And defense.
We'll see.
Yeah. But then they were still able to come back and get DeShone Kizer, who I see as sort of a dark horse, but a serviceable quarterback in the NFL.
I heard a lot of people talking about DeShone Kizer before the draft come up. You were even talking about him. So I heard a lot of people talking about him, and I was surprised he didn't. Yeah, that was a sneaky later round there for him. I thought that was a good pickup.
Yeah. So nonetheless, with the first pick and the second pick and then the quarterback, and they got a tight end out of Miami. I forget his name. Yeah. Anyway.
That guy.
The Browns are going to be a lot better this year.
Well, they should be. There's only one way to go but up, because the Browns are terrible.
7, maybe 6-10.
Yeah, I mean, there's only one way to go but up. It's the Browns. So, if you had to pick, who was your draft losers? If those are a couple of your draft winners, who is your draft losers?
Oh gosh. Chicago, the Bears.
Oh, yeah, well.
Oh, man. Like, that's just glaring right there. You can't help it.
Oh,
I mean, they move up. I mean, all the picks they gave up, and I mean, they did get some back. They did recoup a few of those picks with a trade later with San Francisco.
Chuck says EJ Manuel equals DeShone Kizer.
Ooh, that's a terrible thing to.
I don't know. We do roll deep in the Raider Nation, Desiree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Bears big time, Mark Anthony says. Yeah, I agree, man. That was whoo. John Lynch did. He really pulled a fast one over on Chicago, man.
Yeah. Finkel is on it. And John Lynch, that's his first.
For a new GM, he's like, checkmate, dummy. You know? He's like, come on, man. I just started this. You're playing rudimentary. I'm about to steal 3 picks out your pocket. Watch me work now.
Just so everybody knows in the Raider Nation, I am an NFL guy. I look at things objectively.
Yes. That's why we have you on here.
There is a questionable draft. I have to ask you, Commish, what did the Raiders do?
All right. I mean, what did the Raiders do? Well, I think the Raiders. I liked the Raiders draft. You know, I'm sure the talking heads on ESPN and NFL Network and what have you probably have different views than I do, maybe, because I watch every freaking play and I live and breathe them. So, you know, I have a different perspective on what we need. And the first pick, obviously, for those that were with me, who's the guy? Okay, Jason. We'll get to that guy. That's the big guy from Florida. We'll start with that one since Jason brought it up. He wants to know about the guy who's legally blind. David Sharp. Supposedly, he has astigmatism in the one eye. He is not blind, and he is not legally blind. So he doesn't need an eye patch. He's got astigmatism. We can get that fixed. He's not blind. Let's straighten that out right now. So we didn't draft a blind guy. So let's kill that rumor. He's not blind. It's correctable. And he is huge. He's gigantic. Oh. All right, so the first pick, obviously, I was shocked by the first pick, Garyon Conley. You know, here we are, now we're in the tabloids, you know, right out of the gate. That's not what we want to be. You know, damn it. You know, that's not where we want to be. And there's been a lot of news today about it. So, now they're coming out and saying that supposedly everything that happened in the hotel room was consensual. And her story is that she didn't never seen him or met him until she got in the elevator with him. But there's a club video that shows her following him around the club, reaching out, trying to touch him. And, you know, how do you two end up, I mean, we're grown adults. How do you end up back in a hotel room together in the middle of the night with some dude you didn't know from the club? And I don't know, man. There's just so many. It's like, this story's like Swiss cheese to me. And somebody's have to fill in the holes before I believe either side of it right now. I don't know who to believe. So I'm just hoping the Raiders did their due diligence and they were happy with whatever they got out of the interview with Garyon Conley.
I did hear that they put him through a lie detector test.
Yes, I heard that. He submitted DNA samples. I believe there was also a rape kit that was turned in.
A rape kit?
Yes, but I don't believe the results are back from that yet. I believe it's someone trying to ruin somebody's life too. Just the video, if you watch the video, that really puts holes in her story. The fact that she'd never seen him, she followed him all around that club, she was reaching out trying to touch him. It was just, I don't know, man. And the fact that she said she didn't ever see him or meet him until she was in the elevator with him at the hotel. So, I mean, Ezekiel Elliott's old lady did the same thing to him right before the draft last year. You know, there was the Jameis Winston story. This isn't new stories. You know, this happens. But you don't want to discount it because
some crab legs.
It could be true. Well, yes, he stole some crab legs. He jumped up on lunchroom tables and yelled some thingies that shouldn't yell and what have you.
Yeah,
but
I tell you what, if I was quarterback at Florida State, I might jump up on a table or two.
I might jump up on a table too and expect some crab legs as well. If I'm a Division 1A freaking big-time quarterback.
I'm definitely going to get on the table. Probably yell some stuff I shouldn't.
I mean, it's Publix. Their crab legs are delicious, I guess, because it's Publix. Everything they got at Publix is delicious, so I don't know why they would.
That's not right.
It's not right, but supposedly, because I live down here, so I heard probably a little more of the story than everybody else. Supposedly, he'd been getting hooked up by that guy for a while. So when he walked out, he was expecting that they were comped. So he wasn't walking out trying to steal them. He was expecting they were comped. And then probably what happened was the manager dude got in trouble for letting him have it. And he's like, man, I didn't tell Jameis he could take them crab legs. That's probably what happened. Because he said he'd done it so many times before that he didn't think that he was stealing anything. So, whatever. What have you. All right, so back to the Raiders draft. So we got Garyon Conley. You know, the kid's a stud. Athletically, I'm happy with the pick. I predicted we were going to go corner. I'm happy with the pick. I just wish we didn't have all this other garbage we had to deal with. I just want to be happy about the pick and look forward to the season, not, you know, checking the ticker to see if a charge has been filed. That's just a bummer. That's the only part of it that stinks, you know, really.
Yeah.
It's your number one pick. You want to be happy about it. So I'm trying to be happy about it. Trying to be happy.
If he gets on the field and he produces, then
oh yeah, absolutely. So then you got Obi Melifonwu, safety from Connecticut in the second round. Obi's a big 6'3", 217-pound safety. The dude's got a wingspan like crazy, and I think there's a possibility of the Raiders thinking of moving him down to corner. Which leads me to we got Emerson, we got Smith, paid a lot of money for those guys last year, and they're supposed to be our corners. I mean, but we were 24th in the league last year in that category, so we need to improve that. So
yeah, but a way to improve that is to improve the front seven, which I do think you did address during the draft.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I'm happy
You
we
got
went
better linebacker.
later. I mean, next after we went with the cornerback and the safety, then we went Eddie Vanderdoes, defensive tackle, UCLA, who's a solid pick at number 88, 6'3", 325. He ran a 4.9. The guy he's a big dude and he's fast, and so there's three solid defensive player spots right out. J. Chuck, I could honestly see that too. Smith had even mentioned that on a previous show, that maybe you see him sliding over to play some outside linebacker because that guy's big enough. You put a little extra size on him. He's fast. He's got the reach. I mean, he can't do worse than Malcolm Smith. That dude couldn't cover somebody with a blanket. Seriously. So, I mean, he'd be an improvement in the coverage for sure. For sure. Then it's number 4. We had David Sharp with astigmatism. He's not blind. Stigmatism. Big offensive lineman from Florida. I mean, this is a big dude, man. He is a monster. 6'6", 357 pounds. Big dude. So, I mean, that just adds some beef to an already beefy offensive line right there. Big dude.
Yeah, you can't deny his offensive line help. That's always a good call in a draft. You can never draft enough linemen if you ask me.
No. And then finally, in the 5th round, we go get the freaking linebacker. I was at the Florida Raider Nation draft party, and they were, as a consensus, they were going nuts that a linebacker had not been taken yet. And so we go Marquel Lee from Wake Forest, who's a very athletic and cerebral player. So I'm interested to see. I honestly think the Raiders are going to sign back Perry Riley Jr., so I don't think this kid's going to have to be a starter. And I think, honestly think they're going to sign back Perry Riley Jr., and then they're going to groom this kid and see if he's got something. Then in the 7th, get the 5th. Then in the 7th, we go with another safety, Shalom Lunai. And then we go with another offensive tackle, Jalen Ware from Alabama State. Then we grab a running back, Elijah Hood from North Carolina. Now, I've heard a little chatter about this running back, Elijah Hood, and that people think maybe he'll be pushing Washington out of the backfield. I think that's a little premature talk for a guy that's taken in the 7th round. Don't you think, Prime? It's a little premature.
Yeah.
I mean,
But that's what they do,
I guess. We rounded it off with another defensive tackle. So, 2 offensive linemen, a running back, and pretty much the rest defense. So, I liked the Raiders draft. We really went defensive heavy. We addressed the defensive backs. We addressed the defensive line. And we grabbed a couple offensive linemen too, which you can never have too many of, especially when we've got a stellar offensive line. That way we're covered in case of injuries. So, as a whole, I'm happy with the Raiders draft. Whether ESPN or NFL Network or anybody else has anything to say, who cares about them?
Well, I didn't say it was a bad draft. What I did say is it was a big question mark. And really, if there's any team in the NFL that has to answer a lot of questions, but if they answer right, they're going to be really good, it's the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, the offense is stacked. Our offense is stacked. Every hole's filled. Every hole we filled in free agency. Offense was stacked going in, so we didn't need anybody on offense. We filled all the defensive holes that we had. I mean, our biggest defensive hole was defensive backs. We threw in a safety and we threw in a corner. We moved Rod Woodson to cornerback coach. I think we filled that hole. We grabbed a young guy at linebacker, grabbed a couple defensive linemen, and sup, JD? Grabbed a couple defensive linemen, and, we grabbed that linebacker late. Like I said, I think we're going to sign back Perry Riley Jr. And Jason, I agree. We have an offense that can stay on the field. If our defense hits, Guys, just think about it for just a second. If the defense hits, if this draft is a hit like a 2014 draft, the Raiders are going to be freaking damn near unstoppable if the offense hits too.
J-Chuck nailed it on the head, actually. Boom or bust potential with the draft picks. And that's exactly where we're at. I
agree. Completely. So, speaking of the draft, let's stick with the draft. Because here's... Go ahead.
You know who else went and had a pretty good draft day?
Who's that?
The San Francisco 49ers, the guys across the bridge.
Yeah, they did. I hate to say it. Damn whiners. I hate to say it, but they did. They ended up with Foster, who, man, on our draft show, everybody was calling for Foster all across the Foster. Everybody wanted Foster. And then, when he didn't come, everybody got mad as hell about it. You didn't hear his name no more. But, yeah, I thought that was a steal for them to get him when they got him. I thought that was a steal. Absolutely. Now,
between that and them being able to address some more on the defense, they still got a cornerback out of Colorado.
Yes.
And not to mention, I do have to make a homer statement here. They did draft Iowa tight end George Kittle.
Well, good for them. The Hawkeye. They took the Hawkeye. Well, there was a couple interesting stories. Now, did you hear that the day after the draft, Sunday morning, that the Bills fired their general manager and their entire scouting staff? That as of this morning, only 2 people in the personnel department were even listed on the Bears registry or the Bills registry anymore. They fired everybody.
If they make the Redskins back office look good.
Man, that's crazy. I mean, talk about falling on the sword quick. I mean, was the draft that bad? I didn't even think their draft was that bad.
I didn't think it was that bad either.
I mean, was that already in the works? And if that's already in the works, why wouldn't you? They
got a good wide receiver in the first round.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of wide receiver injuries last year.
Yeah, I don't understand that one. I just thought that was crazy. That you come out and you fire everybody. Just clean house. Like, well, thanks for picking these guys. We're going to get rid of all of you. Why would you get rid of them before, though?
I wonder if they knew it was coming.
I don't know. That just seems odd.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense where it's...
I love being a Raider too, Darren. I just thought it was crazy. I thought it was crazy. And then, have you heard... Here's another crazy story coming out of the draft. Was the story about the undrafted free agents. That basically, it's like... Almost like an indentured slave trade type thing at the end of the draft. They're reporting that 90% of the undrafted free agents have contracts finalized before the draft even ends. Because they've got these guys pinned in a corner, and these guys just throw a nothing contract at them, and they think they have to sign because there's no other, they got no other option. Or they're about to be leaving without a job. And, that's totally against everything the Player Association is for. And,
I admit, I haven't heard a lot about the story, but at the same time, those guys have a chance to make a team.
True.
They have a chance to prove themselves.
Well,
and they may not have done that in the combine.
The reports that I'm saying, they're saying that they think that there should be like a 72-hour period after the fact so that they could negotiate fair contracts instead of just having to grasp at whatever. That there has to be a 72-hour period after the draft, which I don't...
That's a great idea for next year.
Yeah. Yeah, they should be happy they got a job, I mean, honestly. But,
well, I mean, they're living the dream. They have an NFL team.
Come on, man. I wish I had half the talent half these guys do that getting paid the league minimum. The league minimum.
Yeah, league minimum is sweet, Doc. Practice squad isn't terrible.
Heck no, man. Let me strap on and play a game. Give me some cheddar. I'll be all about it.
Yeah. Playing the game. You played as a child in the street.
Absolutely. Now, speaking of undrafted free agents, the Raiders, one of the undrafted free agents we picked up, is a gentleman, wide receiver from Baylor, whose name is Ishmael Zamora. Ishmael Zamora. Now, I don't know if you've seen this today, Prime, but I seen this, and it turned my stomach when I seen it. There's a video of this guy just absolutely beating his dog with a belt. Man, when I mean beating, he's beating this dog with the belt. And he's kicking this dog, and, you know, I don't care how talented a wide receiver you are. I hope they cut his ass. Because that was a disgusting video to watch, man. And a human being that acts like that towards an animal, a defenseless animal, that is just, I don't want that person on my team. I don't want to cheer for that guy. No, J. Chuck.
Right.
I'd rather have Andre Holmes back. Let's let Holton try. Let's let Holton try. Oh, it was pretty bad.
He was accused of rape or something.
No, but it was just... let somebody else sign him. Let somebody else sign him.
Here's a little science.
I'm not saying he should never play. I'm just saying I don't want to cheer for him on my team.
Coming out of left field here. Domesticated cats and dogs.
The what?
Are the fastest growing species on the planet.
Yes. Really?
So if one dog gets beat, I'm not too worried.
Well,
the man's 6'4", 215.
Yeah.
He's got size and speed.
Well,
acceleration.
I guess. I'd rather see him on somebody else's team, though. I can't condone such actions. You know, you can't do stuff like that in the in the phone world, man. Everybody, you can't do nothing. Everybody video anything you do. Also, I don't know what these idiots are doing. How the hell do you let somebody... hashtag dogs' lives matter. I agree.
Dogs' lives matter. Well,
I mean...
he needs to stop eating dogs and start working on his roots.
Reggie did meet with him. I'm sure he's okay with it. But, I mean, if you watch the video, J. Chuck, how can you be okay with that? I mean, really. Did you watch the video? Because it's pretty bad. I mean...
I haven't watched the video.
He's like my dog size. This is like somebody putting the belt to Teddy. To Teddy. I'd whoop somebody down, put a belt to Teddy like that. Oh. It's disgusting.
And if I had a little dog and it
Prime,
on my
you do know,
couch,
it is a proven fact. It is a proven fact that serial killers start out by torturing and mutilating small animals and animals. So this guy's on his way to, you know, he's going to be having people's heads in his fridge in like 5 years at the rate he's going if he keeps up with it.
All right, so I tortured little animals as a child, and I am not a serial killer.
Well, that remains to be seen. Maybe they just haven't caught you yet. How do we know?
Slide one mover and a shaker.
How do we know? So, big news out of Vegas today. Did you hear, Prime, that the Raiders signed the deal for the dirt, where the stadium's going to go? So,
oh, man, it's going to be a work of art.
Yes. It is a... I agree, Desiree. I agree. But yes, so that's the first step. The first step of the new palace in the desert is we signed the paperwork for the dirt. They did the soil test and everything. I was amazed at how quick they moved. They were out there doing soil tests and about not even a week after the relocation vote. So, I mean, in construction, that's like the first thing you gotta do. You gotta make sure the site is even feasible to construct upon. They went right after, got that taken care of. And now here we are, the 1st of May, not much a month over the relocation vote, and dirt's locked down. That's moving fast. That's moving fast. That's not messing around. So, For those of you who don't believe it, believe it. The move is still coming. Whether you want to try to block it from your memories or not, it's coming.
Oh, yeah. You want to put it in banker terms, apparently the Raiders closed escrow on property for the Las Vegas Stadium today.
Yes. There you
We're talking
go.
about a $2 billion stadium.
Oh,
It'll be
yeah.
a shining oasis in the desert.
Yes.
Completely climate controlled.
Yes. The whole
It's
end
gonna be
opens
hotter
up.
than-
Oh, that thing. The renderings of that thing were so gorgeous. Thank you, William. Thank you, everybody who's shared. Keep sharing. Keep sharing. We got to build this audience. Trying to go coast to coast. Every weeknight. I'm the commish. I'm new on the page. I'm leading it off for the Raider Bear. Every night. Monday and Wednesday, we got my boy Prime, the resident Raider Reaction sports guru, joins me for Ghost of the Post every Monday and Wednesday. So keep it here, coast to coast. Start out on the East Coast. I throw it to the West Coast when I'm done. Solid hour from both of us. Raider Bear even gives you an extra hour on Friday. What more do you want? So.
And I do not condone the beating of dogs.
Better clarify. Better clarify. Well, that's true. I mean, the video's been around for a while, J. Chuck. I agree. But, you know, nobody. This wasn't on Raider Nation. This wasn't on Raider Nation radar because this guy was an undrafted free agent. So that, you know, now it's on our radar. And I'm sorry. You know, kind of like the reason Ray Rice ain't got a job yet. You know, you read that story and it sounds bad. But you see that and it's really bad. It's kind of like the dog thing. If you heard a guy beat his dog with the belt and you just read it in print, you'd be like, you know, guy beat his dog with the belt. Man, I watched the video today. Prime, he was laying into it. And that's just wrong.
Yeah?
I mean, bad. And then kicked it afterwards. I mean, that's just wrong. If dog backed in a corner and that's just wrong. Wrong on so many levels.
What else is wrong? Someone's standing there taping it.
That's true. What is with the guy taping it?
Man.
Thank you, Assassin Angel Eyes. See you later. Yeah, what's with the guy taping it, man? If you, yeah. How do you tape that? I agree. That's a very good point. What's with the guy taping it?
Yeah. He's like, oh yeah, get it. What's he
Oh, hold on. This is about to go viral. I'm going to get some money off this when this guy gets signed. You know? That's probably what he was thinking. Oh, man, you stupid. You stupid as hell. I'm about to get paid when you get signed. I'm going to video this. So, interesting. So, as a whole, like I said, I was happy with our draft. I think we did well.
Yeah.
I think we did well.
You know who also did not do well?
What's that? Who?
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
In the draft, you don't think? Just after
I don't think.
After Fournette, it kind of fell off?
Well, Fournette is good, but he's no Ezekiel Elliott.
No, he's not Ezekiel Elliott, and they don't have the running line for that either. I mean
Yeah, they don't have the line, and Fournette can't block.
Nice, Ernie. That's awesome. Bring some donkey flavor up in here. We'll have some fun with them.
Oh no! Don't! Oh, come on now.
Oh.
It's like we're having a good time. Everybody was at the party and all.
Yeah.
Broncos fans.
No, you got to bring a donkey up in here. But it's always fun. There's nothing like some good donkey banter.
You're a long way over.
I enjoy trolls. They're great.
Appetizers.
Yeah.
But no, Jacksonville didn't do too well. I think they overshot for Leonard Fournette.
Speaking of the Donkeys, what's up with their first pick, man? The Donkeys go out and take an offensive tackle with their first pick. Who are you protecting? You grabbed an offensive tackle? You got a great defense, and you got nobody running the show back there. Are they going to go with Simeon again? Lynch? Like, seriously?
Well, free agency isn't over yet.
What, to get to sign Kaepernick? Kaepernick or Cutler, man. That's pretty much all you got.
I don't know, maybe they could get Tony Romo.
Oh, Romo. There you go. You got Cutler, Kaepernick, or Romo. Those are your options. So, I mean, they went and get a lineman out of the gate. Pretty much all of our division rivals were head scratchers to me. Because you looked at San Diego takes a wide receiver. And then they didn't even address the aging Phillip Rivers. You know? That's right, Mama.
Yeah, they might think Phillip Rivers has a couple of years left in him.
But don't you want somebody to start grooming him? You know? You take a wide receiver. I was shocked by that.
Nah, you can't get enough wide receiver help.
Well,
I wasn't so shocked by that, and honestly, there are folks already saying that next year's quarterback draft is going to be better than this one.
Well, that's what they say every other year. It seems like. But and then you had the offensive lineman by the Donkeys. The Chargers take the wide receiver, and then you have the Chiefs take the freaking Mahomes, the deer on ice with the no footwork, and everybody's telling him he's like Brett Favre. Like, everybody Andy Reid's gonna get like Brett Favre. I swear. Like, they're not all Brett Favre.
Brett Favre got tossed around this draft more than Gatorade, but like
they're not.
They can't keep comparing every gunslinger mentality quarterback to Brett Favre.
No, good God, he's not Brett Favre. Come on now, just because he's got no footwork and he can throw, he's Brett Favre.
Well, he could be a lot like Brett Favre, who led the league in interceptions.
It's true. He was the gunslinger. Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
That guy.
Favre.
So, like I said, I was happy with our draft. I think it was good. Heard other people giving it a B-, C+, but I'd give it a solid A-. I think it was okay. I thought we addressed our needs. I don't think everybody else knows what our needs are as much as the Raider Nation knows. And I thought that we addressed defense well. Grabbed a linebacker late. Grabbed a running back late. We need to get rid of the dog beater. But other than that, I felt okay with it. And we didn't draft him.
Might make the team.
So, but other than that,
the video is what ruined Joe Mixon.
See,
Mixon
Jay
would have
Chuck?
been drafted a lot higher.
Did you watch it, Jay Chuck? Did you watch it? It changes your views a little bit. When you hear, all guy beat his dog, it doesn't seem that bad. You watch that video, it's pretty freaking bad, man. I mean, who does that? Who does that? What kind of human being does that? That's just, come on now. Come on, man.
Punched a chick in the jaw.
That was brutal too, man. And I'm glad we didn't sign him either, because I didn't want to have to root for that guy either. Because I can't believe that one's got brushed under as much as it did too. I mean, he leaned back and laid into her. That was wrong on. What is with?
And that's why he flew the draft. And the thing is,
what's with the world
if you
anymore?
would have heard he had a domestic dispute and never saw any moving video, any moving pictures of it, then he would have been drafted probably in his regular draft spot, whatever that may have been, somewhere late in the first round, early second round maybe.
Yeah.
But because there was video, it just makes it that much worse. And now
Yes.
we have, a guy beating his dog, and that's terrible.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. You're not going to throw the guy.
Video makes it 10 times worse, like 1,000 times worse.
It is. Jay Chuck's right, man. The video's worth 10,000 words. It is. It's really bad.
All that.
It was really bad. It was really bad. And, yeah, it's dogs, not a human being, and, blah, 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 for those type of people. But, just what does that say about the type of person a person is that will do that? I mean, forget the act and what the act actually is. What type of human being or person are you to do an act like that?
But I can't go off more on this than a guy who punched a woman and a guy who may have, allegedly been involved in a sexual assault.
True. It's, yeah.
This,
Alden Smith.
This guy beat a dog, but these offenses over here are 1,000 times worse because, I mean, we're talking about people.
Yes.
We're talking about men on women, and you can't do that.
No, you can't. There's something wrong with our society now. We need to straighten it out. But Alden Smith.
We live in a society where people freak out more about dogs getting beat than humans. Then you're damn right. You got a problem.
Well, I wouldn't say that's the case. I'd say they'd freak out about both of them. But, you know, I just don't think we want to see violence at all. You know, but now, just to jump back, to switch gears here a little bit, Gabriel brought up a guy that I did want to touch on because this was a guy that I'd heard brought up at the draft party quite a bit. It was Alden Smith. Now, Alden Smith has been supposed to have been reinstated I don't know how many times now. The guy's been out over a year. I mean, he may as well be retired. He's basically in Marshawn Lynch status now. And like I told those guys, I would say just get Alden Smith out of your head. Because I honestly don't think Alden Smith's coming back. And if he does, do we even need him? I mean, if you think about it, our defense has gelled together fairly well. I know we've added a bunch of new players. Alden Smith is a wild card, man. And he's been in a lot of trouble. And do we want to add that kind of guy to what we got going on right now? Anyway? I mean, think about it. We got a good thing going. Just added a bunch of young players.
The type of man I don't think you guys need on your team.
I question it too.
But the type of player.
Player, yes.
Whoa.
But sometimes it's more than...
Unstoppable.
I agree. A player, yes. But sometimes it's more than the player. When sometimes you got all these young guys coming in on defense. Maybe you don't need a guy like that around. I don't know. I don't know him personally, so I don't know what he's like off the field. But, man, the guy can't stay out of the papers.
Yeah, he's currently being investigated by the San Francisco Police Department.
Yeah. I mean, he's great at stopping the run. I agree, Gabriel. I agree. But it's going on over a year now. So
yeah, he stopped the run, and he can get to the quarterback, too.
But he's got to get on the field. And if he's not on the field,
right.
then what?
Well, the league didn't even reinstate him last year.
No, and they've denied him, I don't know, a few times now. So is he even going to come back? I don't know.
He was in a car. He was riding in a passenger seat that struck a police cruiser.
Yes. Yeah, well, he wasn't driving. But, there comes down to... Because a lot of the things Alden Smith seems to get in is just because he's there or he's with the wrong crowd. And there's, at some point you got to take accountability for yourself in the situations you're putting yourself in repeatedly. Because he's not making smart choices, obviously. Because you've put yourself out of a multi-million-dollar a year job right now because of the dumb decisions you're making.
Yeah, he was looking at being reinstated this year. Had high hopes, basically. And all that could be out the window now.
Oh, we heard about it all year last year. Oh, Alden Smith's going to be back next week. Alden Smith's going to be back next week. Oh, I heard Alden Smith's going to be back for this game and that game. I heard it all season last season. And Alden Smith ain't coming back.
I put him out of my mind. He's not coming
That's
back.
what I told everybody at the draft party, too. I said, put him out of your mind, man. Just forget about him. If you wake up someday and you see the news story, Alden Smith's been reinstated, then I guess you can be happy about it. But I would just say, for the current, put it out of your mind. Forget about him. It's been over a year. If he comes back, I don't know if we even want him at that point. Honestly. I just don't think so. Do not think so. But he seems to be a lot of chatter still. I mean, the idea of him with the defensive line that we already had is a juicy idea, but...
Oh, sure. But Alden Smith isn't going to see the field again. That guy's like perpetual bad news. There's no way that he's going to be reinstated by the NFL.
No, I agree.
There were those that thought he was going to be reinstated last year, yeah, like you were saying. I mean, many different times.
Oh, I heard it all off season. And then I heard it, I'm serious, like every other week it was the story of Alden Smith was going to be back. I heard in 2 weeks Alden Smith's going to be back.
Maybe
That's
missed the
great.
entire season.
He hadn't practiced with anybody. Were you just going to stick him in there? I guess. I mean, would have been nice if you had, get in practice, get a little cohesiveness with the team, but what have you. I mean, he's a stud. He's a physical freak, but, man, sometimes you got to start out being accountable for your choices, and that dude just keeps putting himself in bad situations. When you're trying to get yourself reinstated, you shouldn't be seeing your name in headlines. It ain't that hard to keep your name out of headlines. It's really not. It can't be.
Well, ultimately, that's the best idea for, all players in the NFL and all players in professional sports. The less, headlines you make, the better, unless it's on the front page of the sports section that no one reads anymore. But anyway.
Yes, well,
I do have one more winner.
One more?
One more super A+ grade to give out in the NFL.
All right, well, let's hear it.
The city of Philadelphia.
Philadelphia? Yeah, they did have a good draft.
That was the best draft I'd seen in years. Radio City Music Hall is great and all, but it got old. There was always the Giants fans and whatever.
It was a good draft. Yeah, it was. The whole show was good. They booed the hell out of the Cowboys. They were rowdy. It was good.
Yeah. There's the one guy came out for the Jets and apparently
can't spell Jets.
Jets.
Yes. That was awesome. Jaets. No. Yeah, he did it twice too. He tried to spell it once, screwed it up. Then tried to spell it again, screwed it up again. Yeah, that's bad, man.
I'm just gonna roll with it.
Oh, you can't even come out and prop your name. That's just wrong.
That draft was absolutely awesome. There were 70,000 people outside.
That's craziness.
Oh, man.
That's craziness.
It looked like one big party, and I think the NFL now is actually gonna switch cities.
He was great, Jay Chuck. That was awesome. That's what I was talking about. Drew Pearson, man. He was laying into Philly, and they were laying into him. You couldn't even hardly hear him over the booze. That was awesome. They were laying into him. Yeah, I'm interested to see where it's going to be next year, because they're moving it around. So I haven't heard where it's going to be next year. They just had the Pro Bowl in Orlando.
I haven't heard yet either. Yeah. They're talking about places that maybe already have the infrastructure to handle that kind of.
Thanks for stopping in, Gabriel. Tune in with us tomorrow. We'll be back right here, same time. Raider Nation. Yeah.
So, yeah, I have to say that was the most entertaining draft I'd watched in many years.
It was good. They got to speed it up, man. They got to figure out some way to speed it up a little bit. That's the only thing, is it takes too long, and I don't think it needs to be that long. They got to speed it up somehow, and that's really...
No.
They
can keep it just like it is. That is 32 guys that you get to watch win the lottery.
I guess. I don't know. The first round I don't mind, but do the rest have to be? I don't think so. Sub Justo? I don't think so. I don't think the rest have to be that long. I think they can speed it up a little bit.
The first round should be that long.
Yeah, the first round, that's fine. Make that the event. But then the rest of them, does it need to go all night Friday night and all day Saturday? Really? Come on, no way. No way. That's too much. Too much. Too much. All right. Well, Prime, you got any other juicy tidbits for us?
That's about it, I think. We need some football to start so I can get some really juicy tidbits.
Oh, me too, man. I can't wait for football to start. I'm so jazzed up about it, but,
I'll take preseason.
Well, yeah, I'd take anything right now. I agree, Jay Chuck. The commercials were terrible around every Raiders pick. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Well, we'll squeeze as much juice out of it as we can every night. So, Prime, thank you for joining us again on Raider Reaction. Prime will be back with me on Wednesday night for another edition of Ghost to the Post. Breaking down with all the league-wide stories, how it affects the Raider Nation. Prime?
Yeah, thank you, Commish, for having me once again. I'll see you on Wednesday. We'll hash out the NFL news. I got to admit it. I'm watching some NBA playoffs right now, but
Well,
that's when we talk NFL. I'll give all the love I can to the Raider Nation.
that's why we have you on. You are a resident sports guru. You got to know it all. Because if we want to spin it off, man,
right.
that's why we got you on here. So, you know,
treat your dogs right.
That's right. All right. Peace out. Till next time, Prime. All right. So, wrap it up here. Every Monday and Wednesday, we got Goes to the Post with Prime and the Commish. We hit on all the hot league topics. Obviously, we wanted to break down the draft, get into the draft action. Now we put that to bed. Tomorrow night, Commish, I'm going to be bringing the fire for an hour. I got a lot to say about what's going on right now. Like to touch on all the league stuff on Mondays and Wednesdays with Goes to the Post, Prime and the Commish. Break it down with all the league stories. Anything that happens in the NFL affects the Raider Nation. Every Monday through Friday, 7 o'clock Pacific to 9 o'clock Pacific, 10 o'clock Eastern to 12 o'clock Eastern. We go coast to the coast. Start out with the Commish, then I throw it deep to the West Coast to the Raider Bear. Raider Bear's coming up. Y'all ready? I'm sure he's got some extra juicy stuff for you. Some straight Raider flavor. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, I'll be back tomorrow night. Be back Wednesday night. Be back Thursday night. Be back Friday night. Every night, coast to coast. Starting on the East Coast. Now we're throwing it to the West Coast to the Raider Bear. Thanks for joining me. This has been another edition of Raider Reaction. If it's your first time, thanks for stopping in. If you came back, thanks for the love. Appreciate. Share. Help grow the audience. Peace. Love. Raider Nation.